currency reaction first off to the US jobs.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've seen the dollar stronger across the board. Quite a shock that the number was only zero. Although, as we talked about earlier, it's sort of surprising people would sell their soul to try and get 10 or 20,000, one way or another. So people are looking now at what is going to be very slow and low growth in developed economies. That means that growth currencies, which had been trading very, very well over the last few weeks, are coming back under pressure.
So where do you position yourself ahead of them? You're calling it an anemic growth, not a recession, just slow growth for a long period of time. But where do you, as a currency man, advise your clients to position themselves?
Well, yes, I mean, to say anemic for a long period of time. Is there a recession? Is there not? I don't think that really matters at the moment. I think it's a reaction to what is going to be slow. What we need to say is that equities have been pricing far too much optimism, far too much growth. So equities are going to be under pressure. Equities are going to trade flat. The growth is going to be flat. So look for economies which have leverage to where the growth in the world is. The growth here is still in Asia, despite some of the protestations out there. We still like China. We still like what's happening there. We still like economies which are leveraged to what's happening in China. So Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Australia as well are still expected to do well, even in this environment.
Australia rates tomorrow. We've got GDP as well on Wednesday again. Aussie dollar's been going from strength to strength at one point. Now it's eased off a bit. What's your take on that? Well,
certainly tomorrow RBA on hold. I think the expectations or the pricing that was there perhaps a couple of months ago for an early ease were wrong. The RBA is going to be on hold now. Perhaps there's an ease in 2012 if conditions globally don't improve at all. More important for Australia this week is going to be the employment result on Thursday. Obviously Friday's result is going to play very much on the minds of investors, but it's not really going to impact what the RBA is going to do this week. So on hold and probably just ruling out any early move, as we heard from the speeches the last few weeks.
You did say the currency of choice is the Chinese.
Yes, absolutely. Look, China's still got growth. I mean, we've just had PMI today. Yes, it's off a tick or two from where it was previously, but we're still in this expansionary phase, right now. China's managed its economy very, very well. Still looking at GDP growth of perhaps 9.5%. So
that's a big figure, isn't it?
Look, it's huge, and people look at the Chinese currency and say, well, look, it's a boring currency. It hardly moves, and you refer them to the fact that it's up 6% over the last 12 months. It's up 3.5%, 4% year to date now almost. So that's not boring. They're great returns.
Inflation on Friday, 6.2% is the forecast. They say that inflation's peaked in July at 6.5%. If it's higher than 6.2%. Bit of a blow.
Yeah, a bit of a blow. I mean, I think we saw from Yuan last week his comments that inflation is still something that they're looking to contain. So that really says to us, or it says to the market, that yes, a 6 handle is probably likely. So it's not going to come down very quickly anytime soon. But what we have to remember about China is they've been tightening for some time now. Almost 18 months they've been tightening. So they have been preempting that this price pressure was going to come. So I think the reaction should not be so negative on that.
Always discuss the Taiwanese dollar or the Chinese yuan or the Australian, but you're a Kiwi. The Kiwi dollar, that's pretty strong and pretty got a lot of demand.
Yeah, I mean, it's super strong, isn't it? I think part of it is the strength of the Australian dollar. If we look at where Aussie Kiwi is, it's 125. It's near quite historical highs right here.
And as a proud Kiwi, you're going in there on Friday for the Rugby World Cup.
Absolutely.
No pressure.
No pressure. Well, I don't think there'll be too much pressure on this Friday night, but perhaps in a few weeks' time, I think it'll start to build.
Opening game, Tonga. Are you going to get to the final? Are you going to win?
I think we can get to the final, and I think then it'll be very close.
We're going to get you in after you've won, or not. England, of course, in your way. Thanks so much for coming in, Patrick Bennett there.